Do you know what time it is? I know what time it is. It's turbine time. Oh yeah. Alright, so the name of today's game is going to be Turbine. We have our boilers over here in our mob farm. They're actually going quite well. I have made a slight alteration to them, and that is the fact that they're each now self-powering some steam ovens. I decided to go for that because I was wasting too much power actually running the factory over at my base. And really, for what I want to do, these guys make more than enough steam, and these things basically sip it, so I mean, it's fantastic. And I still have about 144,000 pine spruce inside of my ME system, so we're not running out of fuel anytime soon. Just on the off chance that it might not be quite enough, I went ahead and actually increased the size of the farm. And I also got rid of the oak wood that it was farming as well, so now it's only doing spruce. It's no more oak. So it's so far it's been a net gain of wood, so we're doing pretty good. Right now we still have this, there's only the one reservoir in here, which is keeping up quite well. I might see about actually removing this one and putting one under each of them separately, that way that we don't run into any issues, but I'm not really worried about it at the moment. What we're doing today, we're actually going to carve a nice little hole, and we're going to hide ourselves a turbine. The other option is we might actually be able to fit into the wall. The size I want to do, it's going to not be too terribly big, though it is going to be fairly long. So, I mean, that would lend itself for going either up and down, or it's going to take the vast majority of the wall of a chunk. It'll take roughly about a quarter of a chunk, I think. So it's not too terribly small. Let's go ahead and pull up our little grid here. That's the wrong button. That's the right button. Alright, so ideally what I'd like to do is I'd like to keep it within the same chunk as the boilers, just to make sure that I don't have it like half loaded, and I want to make sure that it itself is within one chunk. For me to be able to keep it with these guys, I would need to actually dig down, which is not a problem. I can do that. If I wanted to like have it lengthwise in the wall, though, it would have to be within a separate chunk, which could be problematic. So I think I'll go down. The general size for what I'm going to do is going to be, it's about a 7 by 7 by 11, and I don't have all of the final blocks that I want to use for the actual turbine itself in regards to like the actual coils. So for now, I have some blocks I'm going to use, but I'm actually going to work on replacing them with, I believe, Enderium. That, or if I really, really feel up to it, I could try going for the stuff that you can make with big reactors itself. What's it called? Ludicrite? It's stupidly effective. It's also kind of expensive since it takes wither stars, and I don't have a way to automate farming those yet. Though that does sound like an interesting project. Let's see where we're at. Let's just see if we can figure out where the actual borders for this... Oop. Let's put my jetpack back on. I took all my armor off just because it looks a little bit flashy. Alright, so it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, so I still have 6 more blocks. And this is going to be 7 by 7. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, so 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if I wanted to do a center, it'd be like right there. And then I have to go over by 3, and then 3. You know what? Let's just center it right here. Oh, it's a little bit strong. And then I can go over. It's right to the edge, but you know what? I think I'll do it. All right, so it's 3 that way, and then 3. And I need to then go one further. I think I also need to dig this out before I spend too much more time, because I don't think I can talk and keep an interesting conversation going while this is happening. So I would tell you what, I'll be right back. Now this is what I would call a 100% grade A hole. This is fantastic. Now you might notice that this is actually not the size of a hole that I said I was going to make the turbine. That is because it's actually going to be poking out above ground a little bit, so I'll have all of my like pipes and valves and stuff over here. And I also want to see if I can actually run the steam into the top. If I can do that, that'd be fantastic. Hopefully it's not actually sided as to which side the fluid has to go into. But we are doing one that's going to be 7 by 7, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so that's good. And we're just going to build this up, and in the dead center is going to go the actual turbine rotor thingy majigger. There we go. The rotor bearing. Use your words. And I actually made too many of these rotor shafts, so we're not using all of them. I wonder if these items are going to be an issue. They probably are. This is unfortunate. Let's go ahead and just build up the housing around the edge here. Since this is going to be underground, I really don't need the turbine glass for this, which works out since I only made a little bit. And I have more of those. Dirt is not the proper item to replace it with. There we go. Alright, so that's good. That's good. Let's go ahead and break out the builder's wand. These things. I love this thing so much. It's my favorite tool. Alright, so let's go ahead and turn on hover and let's get cracking. Oh, they save so much time. I might, well, you know, not really, no, I won't. I was going to say, I might put some, like, glass in there at a later point and have lights behind it, but even if I do that, what's going to happen is, unless I have the blocks of metal at the bottom, which I could do, though it would be a royal pain in the butt to come here later and change stuff, because I basically have to disassemble the entire turbine to get down to the lower stuff. So what I'm planning on doing is I would like to actually have the blades at the bottom here, and then up at the top I'm going to have the actual blocks, and then I'll be able to just more easily change these guys since they'll be at the top. Let's go ahead and see what we're at right now. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, 8. I do not want stone, I want, there we go. So that's 9, 10, 11. And I'll just bring this across. And you get out of there. You don't go there. And then what we'll do is the rest of these 2x5 areas here, these will be glass. I should have enough for that. Well, no, I won't. I'll have enough for 2 walls to do that. So I tell you what we'll do. We will you know, I will have enough because I can't do basic math. 2 by 5 is 10, and I had more than, yeah. Okay. We'll just pretend I didn't say that. It's probably for the best. Do I need to silk touch this? Oh, that's hard glass. Alright, so right here we'll go ahead and put down the turbine controller. Now I hope I can put the port up on the top. If I can, that'll save me a lot of effort. So we'll put that right there. And I suppose what we'll do is we'll have a little cross pattern right here. And do I need more than one? Let's just put them both in just in case. Alright, so we're going good. Let's go ahead and get our rotor shafts in here. Alright, and there's the extra. Alright, now the name of this game is Blades. To get the actual steam inside of the turbine itself, I'm going to be using mechanism pipes, the fluid pipes. I've not had much issues with them before. Mostly it was the energy stuff that was giving me grief, so I'm not too terribly worried. Let's see, we're doing good here. This is probably overkill on blades, but I wanted it to spin fairly fast, and I am going to have a fairly good amount of blocks in the end, so why not? So this will be the last row. So after this, we're going to go for our blocks and materials. So for what I have right now, we're going to use a combination of manilion, platinum, and electrum. Of the materials here, inventory tweaks, stop that. We're going to go the manilion on the bottom, the shining block, and the electrum up top. And that's just progressively getting weaker as we go up. Never noticed the manilion has the had that particular texture. Alright, and this should count as platinum, which is not terrible. The other option I was going to go with is, since we do have my... where'd that stuff go? Okay, there we are. Since we do have the actual little laser thing set up, we have access to mithril because of the mana-infused ores, but I wasn't sure if that was really going to be worth trying to set up, and I'm not sure if it's actually enabled without a mod that has it besides thermal foundation, so I didn't smelt any of that stuff up. It might be something worth looking into, though. Oh, so close. Tell you what we'll do. We'll go ahead and replace the corners here with blocks. No, you know what? We'll replace these corners. Alright. I thought I was going to make it. I was so proud of myself. I almost made it through one full episode with having enough materials. One day I'll be prepared. Alright. And it gives it kind of a fake rounded look. Yeah, I can't break that because there's nothing there. Alright, so that's good up top. And the only thing left is right here. And it gives me just enough to finish it. Oh, that's fantastic. This is a little lopsided, but that should be okay. Alright, so what we are going to do, let me get my ultimate mechanical pipes here. These things transfer 64,000 millibuckets per tick. That's a lot of steam. That is a lot of steam. I don't know if these things have a set input or output limit, though, so I might end up needing to have to make more. And we're just going to run these things straight across. Alright, so with our handy-dandy configurators, we just need to set these things to forced extraction. And this go to push, I think? It may not actually need to go to push. Just leave it at a regular block setting. Alright, so it shows steam. Let's go ahead and disengage the coil and turn this thing on. Alright, so that's only going to be running at 84% efficiency so far. I'm not quite sure how much steam this is moving. I would need a network tool to find that out. But that should be sucking this thing completely dry. It is going to pull out more steam than this thing can generate. As long as it still gives to the steam oven, that will be okay. Yeah, it's going to keep this thing absolutely dry. Alright, we got spin. let's get a look from up top here. Oh, look at those blades. It's beautiful. Now, if this does not supply me enough power for my mob farm, I quit, because this should be more than enough. I'm getting a little bit of funky lighting stuff here from these guys. I might need to actually get more of them. We're still climbing. Worst case scenario, if this isn't quite right, I'll take out some of the electrum. Let's go ahead and, well, let's see how high it goes up before we engage the coil. I'll tell you what, we'll be right back once this thing gets up to its max speed. Well, its current max. Okay, we're at full speed here. Let's go ahead and engage the coils and see what this thing finally settles down at. Are you kidding me? Is it actually going to stay up at that max speed? Alright, we need to actually lower the steam input then, so this can throttle back a little bit, because it's spinning way too fast. Or has it cleared the buffer yet? I mean, there might be a bit of a buffer built up in these pipes. Yeah, there was. Okay. See what it does now. Yeah, right now I think we're actually wasting steam, and because of that we're not making as much power as we could be. We want to make sure that this is down like right around here in the 18,000 range. Let's take this down to about 1,500 and see what we need from there. Go away, NEI. You're in the way. Inventory. Disabled. There we go. Alright, so we want to go ahead and do control down. We'll put it at 15. Alright, so 15 is still too much. So we're ready to tell it to just, yeah, just vent all exhaust. We don't need any of the water. Alright, so that's still too much. Oh wow, I did not need nearly this many boilers. I will definitely need to reappropriate some of this steam. Let's go ahead and go down further. Let's go down to 1,000. There we go, we're dropping. Alright, we want to get around to right here. Let's go ahead and open this back up again, just make sure we're not... That is not dropping quick enough. Alright, let's go ahead and make this 965. Okay, we're going to go ahead and leave it there, but that is doing 6,650. It's going to cut out about 6,654 or so. And that is just from these, well, technically this is a little more than 1 and about a quarter of what this guy's doing. So there's plenty of steam. See, this one over here, it's not really draining anything out of it. So we're doing fantastic. There's plenty of room to expand upwards on this. I am very happy. I'm also an idiot. There is a block missing out of this thing that I just realized, and the smart ones watching might also have realized it as well. There's something called a power tap, yeah, that you need to put on these guys. We didn't do that. Alright, I do know that I made one though, so let's go back over here. I tell you what I might do though, I might make a dimensional transceiver instead of using the nuclear in my basement, which has been a bit temperamental, if only because of the fact it chews through fuel very quickly. And I might just actually use my mob farm over there as my main power source. Seems like it might be a better idea. Let's check this out. Turbine. There we go. Power port. I knew I had one. Let's see real quick what's it take to make a dimensional transceiver. Oh yeah, I turned NEI off. Options. Inventory enabled. I need an Ender resonator and an Ender crystal, which means I need Solvile Enderman, which I don't have any of right now. Alright, so I do have a Solvile, so that's good. We're going to need an Emerald. We got plenty of those guys. We have an Enderman head too. Awesome. It's an Ender resonator, right? Wireless charger, transceiver. Resonator is an Enderman head, Solarium, Vibrant Alloy, and Silicon. Oh, and we have the Vibrant. And we definitely have the Silicon. Alright, so we'll come over here to the Slice and Splice. I keep on saying Slice and Dice. Oh yeah, Solarium. Solarium. Getting a little bit low in that stuff. Okay, we'll let that craft up. We're going to make a quick detour over to the mob farm. There was a... I had to update my copy of Ender Zoo in this pack because I was getting a crash, and I also took the opportunity at the time to update my copy of Ender IO as well. And because of that, there is a fancy new feature for the mob spawners that actually lets you... see, these guys are on. Let's just go through the window. There's a fancy new feature that lets you actually fill these soul vials directly from the spawner instead of actually having to spawn and then capture. So we can go ahead and put it to capture mode. This lets you actually automate these guys instead of having to have something tricky like maybe setting up an autonomous activator. You don't need to do any of that trickery. Just go ahead and right click. And what this is going to do is you're going to drain power and slowly fill the vial with the proper monster. In this case, it's going to be Enderman. And this is going to take quite a bit because this takes a bit of power. I think Operation Get Stuff Powered is about ready to be complete here. So this is not quite right. It can go a little bit higher, but I think we're probably fine right now. We should be fine. Let's not worry about it. I do need to, however, break this and put in a power tap, though, so it's really not going to matter. Let's just go ahead and deactivate it for now. I'll put the power tap right over here. Oops. Okay, let's go ahead and turn this thing back on. Alright, unfortunately that does need to build back up. We do, however, have our nice little dimensional transceiver to put down right here on the power port. And we are going to tell this guy it will send to the main grid for power. And it should be connected already because it does have power, so yeah, pull, whatever. Pull, yeah. Yeah, max it out. So no, we're good. We're not going to run anywhere near our main buffer. Let's just not configure that. Should be fine. And we don't need to do any of this other junk. We're just sending to the main grid. Alright, fantastic. And this thing right here will slowly get back up to speed. We can speed this up by disengaging the coils, and that'll make it spin up faster. It, however, won't generate any power while it's doing so. And you're still doing good. And you're still doing fantastic as well. Glad to see that. You are being choked on steam. Are you having enough fuel? No, you're not. There we go. It looks ugly, but it's going to get the steam from this guy over into this steam oven, which we need to make sure this guy doesn't run out, because it's getting fairly low, actually. Let's steal 3 stacks from this guy. Alright, we should be good now. You know what? Forget it. We have other stuff we could do. However, this is a great success. So I'm actually looking at my clock here. I've been recording for about half an hour, so this is about a good time to wrap it up. I do want to show off one last thing. I've been doing a little work with my ME system. And you might notice I have something in my hand right now. This is a wireless access point, or, yeah, point? No, wireless terminal. Whatever. Anyway, we are actually within range, and we should be able to access any of our stuff from the top floor here. What I did, I went ahead and I ran a conduit up to the 3rd floor, and from there I just capped it off on the floor, and I have it actually with a access point at the end with a few extenders. So at most I can get up here. I don't think I can get up top of here. I think I'm like really right near the edge. Oh no, I can. How about over here? Yeah, see, this is out of range, but we're within right here. So it ends between this block right here, the glass is, and up top there. So I mean, it's fairly high. I probably could have dropped it down another floor and still been okay. What I'm thinking is next episode we're going to get back into a little bit of Botania stuff to take a little break from the mob farm, because it's now making power and we can now go crazy with it, but I've been doing that for a little bit, so I want to try something else for a little bit. And I've never really done anything big with Botania, and I have an idea. We are going to be using some of the stuff we have in the chest here, some of these monopylons, some obsidian, some lapis, and a little bit of sparks maybe. Hopefully. Maybe. Anyway, I want to go ahead and thank you for watching this episode of Bevo's Tech Pack. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave a message in the comments below, and as always, have a good day.